right, guys. Welcome back to the Pulse with Willie and Al. How's it going, bro?
Good, man. I have a new hat. I don't know if you've seen it. Since we're dispensing fantasy advice today, and I am a current reigning defending fantasy football champion in a league that you are in, I feel like as the king, I can dispense good fantasy advice.
I thought you weren't
Well,
even allowed in Burger Kings anymore.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I,
So,
I
I
have to be
mean,
legally 500 yards away from any Burger King.
can you go
It's
through the
not great.
drive-through? Or,
No, no.
oh man, okay, all right. Well, enough fun with us, right? We are back with episode 91, and again, we are ready for fun. So, we are going to jump in today. We're going to cover some Major League Baseball stuff. That's going to be kind of short today, and then we're going to get into some NFL news because we got a bunch of stuff coming up against the cut deadline, which I think just passed yesterday, or maybe today it's going to be official. But there's been some trades, all sorts of stuff, and then we got a fun little segment after that we're going to jump into our little fantasies. Yeah, so we'll get cooking. All right. Major League Baseball, right? The big story has to be Cal Raleigh. Like this guy is just he's just been such a feel-good story all year. I know we talk about him every episode, but this dude just keeps producing. Like people thought he was gonna fall off at some point. He ends up tying Mantle's record with 50 home runs. And I want to get your opinion. Like, is this guy a legitimate MVP candidate, or what do you think?
Yeah, especially with Aaron Judge kind of falling off and being hurt for the second half of the season. I think it's really cool that he broke the single season catcher record.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's not getting talked about enough, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit, is Cal Raleigh's a switch hitter. In the and he is the record for most home runs hit in a season by a switch hitter. Mickey Mantle in 61.
Yeah.
Which ironically, that wasn't even he didn't even lead his team in home runs that year. Roger Maris did by breaking with 61.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say I don't know how I remember that, but I think my dad telling
yeah.
me at a young age that it was 61. I always remember that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's crazy, and he's such a likable guy, and
Yeah.
I think that's probably the coolest part about it is he's done it. He doesn't seem like he's pompous or any arrogant or anything like that. It doesn't seem like he has any of that in him. So it's been really fun to watch him this year. Not
There's
live anymore because I'm back, but
yeah.
it was fun watching it live when I was home and being like, wow, this guy is awesome. So,
Yeah, the two records that he hit were you're kind of really like rooting for at this point is well, there's a few.
mhm.
Mickey Mantle's switch hitting record, which I don't think a lot of people care about. I am fascinated by that.
Mhm.
Um, the Mariners single season record, which is I think it's 56,
Mhm.
which is held by Griffey, which he did I think in back to back seasons in 97, 98.
Wait, he
And
did
then
that in
obviously
back-to-back seasons.
he did.
That
Yeah,
is
that's how good Griffey
insane.
was in the 90s,
Yeah,
man.
Griffey was a beast, man. He was so good.
One of those years, I for sure he won MVP.
I just saw a
It,
clip. Did I send you that clip on Instagram of him with A-Rod? A-Rod gets up and then the old Orioles manager complained about the bat, and so the ump takes the bat for him, and Griffey was kind of like triggered by it and threw his bat
eh,
to A-Rod. A-Rod smokes a home run. I'm like, they're like,
yeah,
could this be the greatest play in baseball? I'm like, no, I don't think it's the greatest, but really cool to see that. Yeah, Griffey was incredible, man. To grow up in that lifetime, it was wild. Um, but yeah, you said back to back years, 56. That's wild.
yeah. It's just fucking nuts. So,
He's crazy.
but also, I mean, there's Aaron Judge's record of 62, which is
Yep.
the American League record. Um, which is also, I think, I mean, he has an outside shot at that. The Mariners have, I think, like 30 games left, so
Mhm.
he would have to go on a tear. But he has been known to do that, so we'll see. He's kind of on a tear right now.
Yeah, didn't
So
he hit two in a game the other night? And he's had quite a few of those this year
48 and
where
49, yeah,
yeah,
to break the record. Yep,
yeah.
the catcher record. Yep.
It's been just a lot of fun for him this year. So, what and we'll get into this in a second because these divisions are starting to get solidified now. As we're seeing stuff like the Tigers again have a huge lead. Remember it was down to like 5-6 games and now it's
Yeah.
back up at what 10-11 now. Maybe it's a little less than that. Maybe it's 9 now, but because they've been on a 3-game losing streak. But this whole division just went on an absolute just dumpster dive. Everyone was like, "Hey, we're gonna lose every single game now." Uh, the Guardians, it's been really rough to watch them recently. Just kind of dying from the inside.
Well,
It's
the Clase getting suspended really kind of started that free fall for them, and then
mhm.
they became sellers at the deadline, and you just kind of the writing's on the wall for them. So
Yeah. Do you think they move on from their manager or?
no, I honestly they were just in the ALCS last year, and you know what I mean. I think they're fine. This is ownership kind of slashed everything, so like this is kind of this isn't really on Stephen Voigt. Like
Yeah,
it's not.
I really like him a lot too, as a manager. So it just, and I'm reading the quotes from him talking about like, hey, we're doing what we can. Like we know it's not working right now. We're trying to get it figured out. Like it's just,
Yeah,
it's brutal, man. It's brutal. I think they were shut out for what like the third time in 4 games.
yeah, it's not
Just
great.
yeah, it's real bad. Other than that, we've got the Phillies, Brewers, and Blue Jays. Right, they all have a decent lead heading into the home stretch here, which is kind of nice. I know there's teams closing in on the Blue Jays, but
Yeah, 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 they are.
and the
Yeah,
Mets stole a few games from the Phillies, so they're not going away. But all of them have a pretty respectable lead right now in their divisions. And then you're looking at the West, right? Like the Dodgers and Padres, a game apart. Astros and Mariners were a game apart too. I don't know if, after last night if that's the case as well, but they're keeping it real
the Astros
close.
are a game and a half up on the Mariners right now.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
right? They're keeping it real close in the West. So, uh,
And honestly, as a Sox fan, like Seattle losing is great for us because like they're a team that's kind of lurking in the wild card spot,
yeah,
and yeah, so we'll take it.
yeah.
We'll take it.
One thing I wanted to mention, I saw this and we had talked about this post recently about the reorganization of divisions, kind of what Manfred, kind of the way he visualizes the league going in the future. And I don't know if it's trying to drum up more attention for the league. I think that's kind of what it is, like that reorganization. It was kind of neat to visualize what the league would look like if that happened. And on that post, I was very happy because they were like, could you imagine the Braves in that particular division with like the Marlins, the Nationals, the Braves, and I think I can't remember the last team that was in there with them, but they were like, it wasn't a good team. And I'm like, oh, that would be a very good division for them. They'd have a lot of fun there. Um, but
You
then
guys would still blow games against them. Don't worry.
what's that?
You guys would still blow games with your bullpen against
Oh
them.
yeah,
It's okay.
well, no, we wouldn't blow them. We would just lose 1-0.
Yeah,
It would. That's what it would
yeah.
be. So, but I did see your division there. It was going to be like the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Mets,
And the Phillies.
and the Phillies. Could you
Yeah, not
imagine
great. Not great.
that would not be fun for you guys?
No.
But you had mentioned too. It's like geographically based. That's kind of the way they were doing it.
Well, so Manfred's kind of proposal hinges really, it can't really happen unless, I mean, I guess it could happen, but it kind of hinges on expansion. So they
Ah,
need one more team in
Charlotte.
the American League
Yeah.
and one more team in the National
Right.
League.
Yep.
Um, so and then it would be four team divisions,
Hmm.
and then you could kind of go from there.
Interesting.
There have been rumors too of just kind of doing away with the American League National League. I Here's kind of my thing. I I kind of wanted like a different version of this where, and I'm a baseball purist. Like I'm real hesitant to change until I know it works.
Yeah.
Um like I think the runner on second bullshit in extra innings is, I hate it.
Yeah.
I absolutely despise it every time I watch an extra innings game. Um
I feel like it just
and
gives
I
it like someone gets something that they didn't deserve. Like
Well, the junkie in me just wants to watch a 19 inning baseball game.
yeah.
That's I recognize that I am just that's just me, and I'm a
Who's
very
gonna give
selfish
up
person
first,
who wants
right? Who's gonna
yeah.
give up first or get it done first? I feel the same way, man. Same way.
What I kind of want though to kind of even the playing field, I kind of just let's go keep it the American League National League. Let's go divisionless.
Hmm.
Let's just have this like a, you know what I mean, like a
Kind of like
two
the
leagues.
NBA, the East and the
Well,
West.
the NBA still has divisions, but that's kind of a joke
Right.
at this point. But
Yeah.
like I couldn't tell you who won the divisions in the NBA ever.
No. No.
But hear me out too. Like, let's. I love interleague play. I get why we do it, and they've really kind of figured out the system for it. So, but it almost sometimes for me loses a little bit of luster in the World Series because it's like, oh, we already have kind of like tape on how we played these guys this year.
Right.
Like,
I
so
kind
I
of
don't know.
like it in the NFL. I wish they would scale it back a bit in baseball. Like I like it in the NFL that you play 4 games against a division that's not in your conference every year.
Yeah,
But the rest of those games, you're playing everyone in your conference, right? Or only teams in your conference. I wish they
right.
would do that. Maybe not even a third of the year. I literally wish it was like less than 30 games you play against just one division in the American League, right? Like if
Yeah.
they decide how to do it, you play like what, I don't know, each team 4 5 6 times, something like that, and then that's it for the year. Because
Well,
it gives.
I do like the last week of the season in Major League Baseball. You're playing division rivals.
Yeah,
I
I
really
like
like
that as
that.
well. I don't know, when I think of the postseason in sports, I like that those teams usually haven't played during the season. You're
Yeah,
going up against someone that, like, okay, like, yeah, we spent our year in our conference playing against these teams, and we know them very well, and we feel like we've been very dominant. But then you get against the other conference, and you're like, oh my god, they weren't the better team. Like
yeah.
it just, I don't know. I To me, I that's what I want to see. But
Well, I think too, where I really kind of want to see divisionless baseball is so then you kind of see teams that like you can just like have a good record and like you can kind of your merits can stand on that good record.
mhm.
Whereas like I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was like 2021, where it was like the Giants and the Dodgers both won like 103 or 104 games,
Mhm.
but the Giants had to be the wild card team. And it's
Yeah.
like that's where like I think divisionless baseball I think would be really like really cool just because then you're like cool you won 103 games, let's reward you for that instead
Right.
of you having to go on the road for a wild card game, like you know
Hey,
what I mean,
it's the
like
same argument we have with last season in the NFL, dude. The exact same one where it's like, oh, okay, well, you won the division. Oh, you won 15 games. Doesn't matter. You're going on the
yeah,
road. Uh,
yeah.
I know that's the system they have. I don't always agree with it, right? But
I kind of wish before they went to the 17th game in the NFL,
mhm,
I really wish that because they could have done this perfectly where they could have just got done away with the divisions
mhm.
and just like played everybody in their conference like one time and then like
Yeah,
or you know what I mean? Like
yeah. They could have, and then
I
maybe
don't
you
know.
have one wild card game against a
Sure.
like against another team, right? Like I don't know, from the opposite
Yeah.
conference. Could have been cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Moving on. Sometimes we need to admit when we're wrong.
Yeah. I'm glad we're gonna talk about this because I wish that I could
Uh,
pull up the clip of you being like, hey man, they started 0-7. I don't care. They're gonna I can feel it. They're gonna make a comeback.
yeah. Okay. So things didn't go right for the Braves this year. It turns out history
No.
is right about the Braves. Not just the Braves, but any team that starts out. If you start out losing your first 9 games or however many games it was. By the way, I think they had a worse record than the Rockies at the beginning of the season, which is impressive in its own right.
In
Um,
fact, since July 4th, the Rockies and the Dodgers have the same record.
Oh, yeah, the Rockies have
Yeah.
been playing. They you lit a fire under them, man. You lit a fire
They're
under them.
they're 3 wins away from not breaking the single season losses record.
Yeah, they've been churning out wins, man. They've been stealing a lot of games from teams that you're like, wait,
I know.
they actually beat the Dodgers head to head in some of those games too.
Sure did. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it turns out it's very difficult to overcome like big long losing streaks, and the Braves had a lot of those this year. They
They
just
also have been the injury luck again for the second season in a row hasn't
Mhm.
been good for you guys. Like
It hasn't, but the other thing, I knew the bullpen would be rough this year. I understand
that's an
that piece,
understatement.
but they've had a very bad time being consistent hitting the ball too, and
Yeah.
that's the amount of one run games that they've lost this year is brutal. They must have the worst record in Major League Baseball for one-run games. They must.
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah.
It's just that is too difficult to overcome. It just is. And really, I think it takes a toll on the clubhouse too. So hopefully they're able to get healthy in the
Oh
off
yeah. No,
season.
I'm looking at the stats now. They're for sure the worst, even one-run games by a mile.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
teams. Oh, sorry, no, that's not true. The White Sox are 9-30 in one-run games, so you're good. But you're
okay.
the second worst team
Oh,
when
we're
it comes
good.
to that.
We're good.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
The
yeah.
Rockies have a better one-run uh, record again than you guys.
But let me ask you
So
something real quick because I think this is something that is interesting as you look at the stats to see like where they are in the standings right now. And they're not like my brain kind of did a weird thing when I was at the airport last week and I'm looking at the standings and I'm going and I actually said to myself like, well, they're not mathematically eliminated,
no.
and that false hope was not good. But this is the interesting thing. Who would you say had like a better season, them or the Marlins this year?
Um, I mean, I guess I would kind of say the Marlins because nobody thought the Marlins would be good,
Mm.
and they were like for a minute they were like lurking for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What about the Giants?
I think the Giants were disappointing this year.
Yeah, disappointed. They
Since that
nosedived.
since that Devers
Yeah.
trade, they've been awful.
Well, they nosedived after that Devers trade. Well, the Braves have won 4 less games than the Giants. They've
Yeah.
won 2 less games than the Marlins, and no one's talking about them having a huge disappointing season. But the reason is because of the talent on that roster not getting it done, and
Right.
that's the big piece of it for me that I see. And I don't know. It seems like there was a lot more parity in baseball this year than there was in years past. I mean,
You know
even
why
if
we're not talking about Arizona too? Because Arizona had some pretty high expectations going into the season, and they've been not great.
yeah. Now, if the Braves finished like the Rockies did with 38 wins so far, right? And, they have basically half the amount of wins that, well, a little more than half of the wins of the next closest person, the Diamondbacks, right? Next closest team there. It's still like they weren't that bad this year, but based on expectations, they were awful. And that just, we got to admit when we're wrong, and sometimes we are, guys. Sometimes
Yep.
we want better for our team than they're willing to give us. So maybe next year, boys. Um, One thing I wanted to ask you about your guy and Scooball. Who's going to win the Cy Young? Like it's going to be a tight race between Crochet and Scooball. Like what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's gonna be a tight. I do think it's gonna be a tight down the stretch. I think the thing that makes me sad for Garrett Crochet is like early in the season, there were. I think I was reading the stat the other day that there were like 5 or 6 games early in the season where he left with a lead, and the Sox
And they
bullpen
blew
blew
it.
it for him.
They blew it. I remember seeing that somewhere. I don't know where I read that, but
Yeah,
I remember
like he
seeing
should be
that.
on pace for like 25 wins this year.
Yeah.
It's sad how, but like he loves playing. He's the guy now where like it's his turn in the rotation, and you're like, okay, like I'm pretty sure this is a win. I feel pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
yeah,
know what's interesting about him is not only did he have games blown, but if you go back and look at some of what like the games that he had, there should have been further wins in there. Like that they had where they just weren't able to score enough runs. Like he pitched a
yeah,
good game, pitched 6.5 innings, or at least 6.5 innings through it, and he gives up 3 hits, maybe a run or two, and they just can't put any runs on the board. And it's sad for him. Like it's not quite the Paul Skeens treatment, but he was very good for Boston this year. It just
yeah. He has been. He's been lights out.
yeah, and
And
he's
he's
a
he's
big
only
reason.
26. Yeah, and he's only 26 years old, and
Yeah,
we have him signed to a long-term extension. Like
yeah. I,
it's nice having a number one ace. Like
if he continues on pace, I think they may give it to him over Scooball because Scooball's won it before. And
no,
you don't think
I
so?
think no, Scooble, like the season that Scooble's putting together, he's putting a really good season together. Like
Well,
so is Crochet, but like Scooble's like
or is that the case with
Scooble's
MVP?
strikeouts.
Is that the case with
What's that?
MVP where they do that, where they don't want to vote for the same guy twice in MVP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Greg Maddox and Randy Johnson both have won 4 straight Cy Youngs. So like
Yeah, I think Clemens won 6 or
seven
7.
in his
7.
career.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maddox over those 4 years, like for him to win four in a row, like, dude. And Randy Johnson did that after he got traded. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, pretty wild. He
Yeah,
also threw a perfect game at 40 years old. So like, yeah,
dude, he is, and now he's a cameraman, a great cameraman.
yeah, great photographer.
Yeah.
I went to Cooperstown and saw some of his stuff. He had an exhibit at a museum.
Hmm.
He does really good work.
That's so cool. So
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you wanted to mention in baseball, we're gonna move to the NFL.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
we're good. Yeah.
We got some big news, so I'm very happy to give this news. I don't. It's not a feel good news, but it's a kind of happy news. Lukewarm, right?
Yeah.
Henderson finally gets paid by the Bengals. Not the way we were hoping, right? He was hoping for a much longer deal, more than 1 year, but they basically give him 1 year. They give him a $14 million pay bump, so basically he's at 30. I'm pretty sure, but he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, and it just does not feel good for the Bengals or him. I don't think.
He's
It,
gone season.
yeah, which is really sad because he's a big part of that team, and I don't
Yeah.
think he wanted to go anywhere else. I think that's where he wants to be. Um, it's really kind of tough, but hopefully he can get on the field, get some reps
Yeah.
in before week one. I think he's going to be okay, but you still worry about like the rust or anything like that. Like you need those reps, right? You really do.
Right.
Um, Plus, they've got a new defensive coordinator there, so it's like, he knows what he's got to do every week, but it's just you want to see it move forward with that.
Okay.
Jacoby Myers, and this is the new tactic, right? He wants a new contract, requests a trade. It seems like this is like the go-to now for all players, where it's like, I want a new contract. Oh, we're not going to give you one. Okay, well, then trade me then. And then they're like, well, let's work something out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which is too bad because like
He's
him and
really
with
good too, by the way. I don't think people realize just how good of a receiver he is because he's
yeah.
playing in Vegas. But in terms of catch radius, him bringing in catchable balls and stuff like that, his metrics are off the chart, man.
And plus, like this Raiders team has like something special on offense because they signed Amari Cooper, which I think is a
Yeah,
really good signing.
I
I like
love that signing, dude.
the
I
Raiders
love
are
it.
going to be a weirdly fun team on offense to watch. I don't think they're going to be great on defense, but like they're going to be a weirdly fun offensive team to watch.
I
So
think they might be better than you think on defense. And this is the thing. They weren't
yeah,
awful last year. They actually kept them in some games. But this offense is unquestionably the better part of the team, right? They bring
right,
Genty in. I think putting a guy like Amari Cooper on the field, just having him on the field for offense, gives them a big advantage.
absolutely, yeah,
Also, you had mentioned they ended up trading for Kenny Pickett,
yeah.
where he's going to be a backup, and I couldn't be happier for him, man. I think he's going to learn from Geno. I think Kenny Pickett might actually be able to do something in this league, but he needs to be in the right situation. And so
He was on
far,
his fourth team already.
yeah, but honestly, the places he's been, look, he's got a Super Bowl ring.
He
Like
played in a Super Bowl.
he
He
did,
played in
he
the
did.
Super Bowl.
I
Yeah,
didn't like it when the Steelers drafted him because I didn't think it was a good spot for him. I just didn't.
yeah.
I don't think his skill set matched for what they were trying to do there.
Old small hands Pickett.
Yeah. And I didn't like when he got traded to the Browns because I didn't see him being a starter there. I don't like that situation, and I feel like no quarterback except maybe Joe Flacco's like, all right, I want to be a quarterback here.
Right.
Joe's like, you mean I'm 45 years old and you're gonna let me throw? He's like, no, yeah. So
Sure.
we'll see
Sure.
what happens there. Terry McLaurin ends his big holdout. Gets a solid bag too. Like he really.
Yeah.
It turns out like the sit in is kind of the way to do it. Like he was still showing up.
Well, that's what James Cook did too. He did the sit in because I've been watching Hard Knocks and it's
Yeah.
the Bills this year, and
Mhm.
yeah, he did the sit in as well. Like, so yeah,
Yeah.
good on Terry McLaurin for getting paid.
Yeah,
Like,
happy for him, and hopefully they can like hit the ground running with that team this year, and really like McLaurin finally has the same quarterback and actually a good quarterback on his team for the second year in a row now.
yeah,
So happy for him. Joe Mixon, he's going to miss the first 4 weeks. They're very
yeah.
skeptical on this injury. They've been very hush hush on it, and they placed him on the NFI or reserve NFI list, which had me kind of worried because it's non-football injury, but that's not what it was. It was basically they know he's going to miss at least the first 4 weeks, but there's rumors out there that he could be not back until like week 12. So Uh,
Wild.
not a good situation there.
And no offense to Nick Chubb, like he's not a guy you can rely on anymore because he just
Yeah.
both of his knees are made from mozzarella cheese. Like,
Well, not only that, like he was good for many years, but the issue is that he's not running behind a great offensive line there. And it's a
no,
line that moved
especially because
on
they traded Laramie Tunsil.
and they
Like,
moved on from Shaq Mason. Like they just they
yeah,
don't have the same line that they did before. Maybe they come out and they're going to be good this year, but I think you're going to see a lot of CJ Stroud running all over the place this year.
yeah.
Um,
Luckily, he plays in the AFC South. They play in the AFC South, and that division it's just a dumpster.
yeah,
It is just a dumpster.
it kind of is. Um,
Yeah, you know it is. You
yeah,
know it
it
is.
doesn't feel good for that division right now. And to think that even with all those problems, we still pick them to win the division. Ooh.
Well, it's the legally somebody has to win this division.
I,
Division.
I
So,
gotta ask you about that. Did we totally miss the boat on this? Are we gonna be sitting here 3 months from now and it's gonna be like Tennessee and Jacksonville leading that division?
no,
Okay.
there's no.
I don't
I
know.
do think I have kind of thought it through, and I'm talking myself into that. I think Tennessee could win more games than
Yeah.
I. Everything I'm reading about Cam Ward, like I'm reading like all the right things from him, and I'm just like, oh man,
You see what he said about his
okay,
dad? Because they asked him
yeah,
if like he has trouble getting up every day, and he's like, "Well, my dad. I watched my dad get up for 30 years and go to a job that he hated. If I can't get up and go to a job I love, then like I don't belong here." He's like, "No offense, but no one belongs here if they can't show up to do something that they love." Right? It
yeah,
really, I don't know. It's very interesting. Um, he seems like he's going to be a really good leader for that team. So
yeah.
uh, we had talked about this the other day, but Brian Robinson gets traded to San Francisco. You really like this, and I wanted to open up to you why you think that.
Two things. Christian McCaffrey's lower half is just made with bubble gum, so that's he's gonna get hurt eventually. And I think that like Brian Robinson's a good change of pace back.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the 49ers got rid of Jordan Mason in the offseason, which I still nobody has been able to explain to me the why. Um,
He's going to be the
but like
starter
I
soon in Minnesota.
sure is,
Mm,
sure is. Um, so I really like Brian Robinson. I think like he's just going to provide like you're going to be able to spell him more,
mm-hmm.
so McCaffrey can get more rest and he can stay fresh. And I really like the two-headed monster they've got kind of going here.
Yes,
So
I wasn't too big on it initially, but I think more now. I think this is going to be a team that Kyle Shanahan's teams like to run the ball, and I think they're
yep,
going to run the ball a lot more. Also, Brock Purdy's stats have been like for some reason people sleep on this guy and think he's not a good quarterback. Like he got the bag and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's not that good." It's like his stats since he's been a starter in the league are very good, man.
I think his stats were pretty telling last year. What he was able to do with like nobody
Nobody,
essentially.
man. And like you lose the honestly like the best arguably the best player in football, right? You
Yeah,
don't have him there at
like
all
he
like
lost Trent Williams for a while.
yeah, lost
Like
Trent Williams for a while. Debo was banged up. Brandon Ayuk went down, right? Like all of this, and like
Kittle's always banged up.
hey, patched it together. Also, Pearsall, like the gun incident, like he didn't even hardly really come into his own, but I think he will more this year. But I don't know. I
Shout out to the 49ers for having all the guys that got shot on one team. Shout out to that.
yeah. Who else?
Brian Robinson, he got shot.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did. And then
yeah.
after when he came back, he came out to many men
I hope
in the
I
stadium.
really wish I can't take credit for this idea, but I somebody suggested that he and Pearsall week one just come out to that song together, and I want that more than anything in my life.
Oh man, I'd love to see them start like a campaign or like some sort of foundation for like disabling guns or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Like they'd be kind of the spokespeople for it. Uh, yeah. Moving on here, right? Thielen gets he returns to the Vikings in a trade, which was pretty good. And I like that not only for him personally, but I think he's going to be like you add Thielen while Jordan Addison is out. I think that's a good thing. And then once Addison comes back, then Thielen's still on the field in three wide receiver sets. I think Naylor's the three that they have there now, but I don't see him really
Can we just ask a question? I just want to ask this question real quick from a Carolina standpoint.
Yeah.
Why did they need to trade Thielen? Like
Well,
that was kind
so
of Bryce Young's like security blanket.
yeah, but I thought
Like
they
this,
were doing it for Hunter Renfro, and then they cut Hunter
they cut
Renfro.
him too. Yeah,
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I really don't.
boy, I Carolina is going to be worse than we thought this year,
Or
man.
or maybe they're smarter than we are, and they're gonna prove us all
Oh,
wrong.
I mean, let's be honest with you. I could not
Yeah,
run an NFL team.
yeah.
I can barely run a fantasy football team. All right.
Well, seems like
Actually, I
you're.
can run one pretty well because
Yeah, it seems like you're kind
I
of
have
good
this
at it.
crown right here that
Yeah,
says I'm a king.
it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He thought he was the Burger King. So,
Yeah.
uh, so Tim Patrick, he goes to Jacksonville. That was a bit of a head scratcher for me, just because like, all right, this was the move that Jacksonville needed to make?
Apparently. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. I guess. I
If the Colts weren't so bad this year, I would have picked Jacksonville to finish last.
Yeah. Though
Yeah.
I think um yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Nope.
Do it.
Nope.
Do it. Come
Not
on,
gonna
do
be
it.
said.
Do it.
I want to believe deep down that Daniel Jones is gonna be better.
I love this. I love this. Oh my god.
Uh,
I'm so ready for this.
I want to
Please lock
believe
yourself
that
into this.
I've
Please.
actually somehow talked myself into really liking guys uh like the prospects in fantasy of guys like Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren. Uh,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
and I think Josh Downs benefits really a lot from Daniel Jones being there, and wasn't going to from Anthony Richardson. So I don't know. That whole situation is just scary to think about.
Yeah.
And his agent doesn't seem to be doing him many favors right now either.
Yeah.
But we'll see what ends up happening with that. Jordan Poyer, he comes back to the Bills, which I think is really good. He spent 1 year in Miami, but a good veteran leader in the secondary that they're going to have, and
Yeah.
really like. I just think maybe the Bills are just looking to add more talent, right? Like there's still a lot of good guys out there, right? Like I hate to say it, even Christian Wilkins, the butt grabber, kiss blower, whatever he is, right?
Yeah.
He's still out there too. Like Zadarius Smith, you got him out there. Like there's plenty of guys that are still available that haven't signed. So, we'll end up seeing what happens. Plus your guy, Babe Davis, right? So
Yeah.
one thing I don't want to spend too long on this, but Micah Parsons, this saga is just getting
Nacho Gate.
yeah. Is that
Man.
what he actually said?
No, but like him just eating nachos on the sideline is fucking hilarious.
No,
to
did
me.
you see him laying on a table? They were
Eating the nachos?
no,
Yeah.
no, there
That's
was
great.
was that what it was? Like
Yeah,
was
he's
it
eating
in the
nachos.
game? Laying on a
Yeah.
table?
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
god.
great. It's
I
10 out of 10 unintentional comedy for me. I
yeah,
loved it.
I mean, he's removed the
loved it.
Cowboys from his social media. I think unless they pay him a ridiculous amount of money, which Jerry's going to have to overpay for him now.
Allegedly, he offered that. He offered that
To
according
make
Jerry
him the
Jones.
highest paid, but I think he still was like, dude, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Where does he end up, dude? If he ends up in New England, oh
Don't do this to me.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
You do this on purpose
Because
so you
you're
get me
gonna
all
come on.
riled up, because then we end recording and then I think about it for a while.
Yeah, you
and
start
I get
scrolling through
all
the depth
riled up.
chart. Yeah, you're looking at the
Oh
depth chart. You're
God,
like,
why do you do this to me?
oh, could
Why?
you imagine? What if the Bengals end up getting? No, they don't have enough cap
Yeah,
room. But like,
they'll.
they just
Yeah, I was like, they'll fuck
yeah,
that
they
up.
didn't even want to pay Hendrickson. They're
Yeah.
definitely not going to pay him. But I don't know, man. Like there was rumors of teams with cap room trying to make aggressive pushes for him. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it ends. I'm so tired of the drama with the Cowboys. Jerry, like relinquish control of the team.
Speaking of drama, watch the Netflix documentary. It's so good.
I still need to do that. It's on my list. Man. All right, so we're gonna get into just a little bit of our kind of our preseason picks because the season's gonna start within the next week here. Next week, actually, next Thursday. So we will go through, and just to remind you guys of what we picked so you don't have to go back and rewatch it. Al's picks for the AFC correct me if I'm wrong, we had the Bills, Ravens, Texans, and Chiefs, right? Okay. And for me, same. I think actually when we went through, there was only one team that we didn't agree on. The NFC, you had the Eagles, Lions, Bucks, and Rams, and I had the Eagles, Vikings, Bucks, and Rams. So we differed there. But in terms of AFC Championship, who do you have meeting in the AFC Championship this year?
I think I think it's Bills Chiefs. I do. I think you're gonna get that year. I think you're gonna actually no. Sorry, no. I actually think this is gonna be the year. No, it's Bills Chiefs. It's Bills Chiefs because respectfully, I don't trust the Ravens to do anything in the playoffs because the Ravens feel like a team of destiny this year, and so do the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
But I just Josh Allen has at least done it enough in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
and he just keeps running into Patrick Mahomes every year.
Yeah.
Whereas Baltimore, I guess, yeah, now that I think about it, Baltimore also runs into Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is really the big bad boogeyman in all of this.
Well, and now
But
Kelsey's married, so now it's or well, he's gonna get
yeah,
married, right? So it's ooh, that team is loaded now. Yeah, I didn't do Bills Chiefs. I picked Bengals and Ravens.
you, oh my, this,
Yep,
you
that's
are so hung up on the Bengals.
I'm
God,
telling you, it's gonna
the
happen.
Bengals can't, the Bengals can't stop a cold.
Doesn't
Like,
matter. Come postseason,
it does matter.
no one wants to play him come postseason. All they got to do is make plays during the game. And guess what? My team, the Colts. If you remember their Super Bowl win, go ahead look at the picture with Bob Sanders. You may not be able to see it, but yeah,
Yeah, no,
that
that's
Super Bowl run,
oh cool,
their defense, they
cool.
couldn't
Your,
stop water from running that year. They
your
couldn't
one
stop
Super Bowl
water.
win, cool,
What's that?
cool. Your one Super Bowl win, okay,
Oh
okay.
man. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well,
We have wait, what's that? One, two, three, four, five. Oh, six.
okay.
Six. That is one, two, three, four, five, and six.
So you're not like most loser Patriot fans that would count a seventh when Brady went to Tampa Bay.
No, the
Because
Patriots didn't win that. Tom Brady
oh,
won that.
but there's a lot of Pats fans out there that count that as a Super Bowl win for them.
Look, I am
So
what you call a highly cultured man, and I understand how things work.
yeah,
That's not I was I rooting for Brady during that Super Bowl run with the Bucks? Absolutely.
and Gronk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh but that's the Patriots didn't win that Super Bowl. Tom
No,
Brady and the Bucks won that Super Bowl.
yeah.
So
Well, listen, don't shit on my picks. I'm telling you, like this is the way it's going to be. And when we're sitting here in January, and you're like, "Wow, you were right about everything," we'll be recording that.
this
Okay.
reeks of do you remember like the first year we did this and I picked the Jets to win the division? Do you remember that?
Oh my god! All year you had to deal with that. That was so good. Oh
Yeah,
man.
the first year of Aaron Rodgers, I was like, yeah, they're gonna do well. Um, yeah, this just again, you can be the team that nobody wants to face all you want, but if you
Mhm.
can't play defense, cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you have for the NFC Championship?
This one is a little harder to pick because the NFC just feels like a real crapshoot this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's going to be the Eagles again.
Okay.
I I can't believe I'm fucking talking myself into this, and I have no basis. There's no evidence to say this. I think you and I picked the same thing. So I think it's going to be the Vikings because I think the Vikings have such a good defense that I think it's not going to matter. Unlike
Okay.
the Bengals, because I think if you can just get competent quarterback play from JJ McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
you're you're fine. Like
Yeah. I think I mean it's set up really, really well for him, right? I agree. I think it's going to be the same for me. The Eagles versus the Vikings, and then just I think they've got a great defense there. They've got a great foundation, great offense. They bring in Jordan Mason, so even if he doesn't take over as the starter, or and he's getting 15 carries a game, and Aaron Jones is getting 10 carries or 12 carries a game, like I think it's going to keep them fresh all year. They've got an amazing offensive line. they know how to do it, man. And I believe Kevin O'Connell can coach them up, but I think their
Yeah,
run ends in the NFC Championship game because
me
uh
too.
I have the Ravens and the Eagles playing in the Super Bowl.
See. I have Bills Eagles.
Bills Eagles, okay. And who do you
Yeah,
have winning that?
I can't believe I'm going to put my stink on this. I think it's gonna. I think this is the Bills' year, man. And I know.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
I need to preface this with I've been drinking the Hard Knocks Kool Aid,
You
and I
definitely
get
have.
that, and
Yeah.
I understand that. I think this is the year for them. I really do. I really do.
I went a different route, and it's so funny because I'm such a Bengals homie, right? Like, and so I
Yeah.
I
No,
can't.
we all have our kryptonite.
I
I get
really
it.
I think Joe Burrow will win a Super Bowl in his life. I definitely think that. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but
I don't think it'll be with the Bengals.
wow, I don't think he ever plays anywhere else, in my opinion. I don't think he
Okay.
will. But I have this year. I have the Ravens over the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I know that's crazy to say, but I think this is the year that like Lamar's been an MVP the last two seasons, right? Like I think this is the year they added more pieces on offense. They've done what's worked really well for them. They were right there, and I definitely think that they made enough upgrades on defense too. We'll get into this in a little bit, but like uh I think they made enough upgrades on defense too where it's going to work for
Yeah.
them. And you remember last year, man, like we were talking about the Ravens and I was really low on them. It was like, they're not going to be able to run the ball. They lost all of these pieces and this and that. They still went out and still ran for what, 10,000, 50,000 yards, right? Like they ran for a ton on the ground with between Henry and Lamar and still got it done. Um, Also keep an eye on Keaton Mitchell. Uh, he's a special talent, man. There's very few guys
Yeah.
in the league that have his ability. And I know he's gotten hurt a few times, but man, like if he can stay healthy, that could be a ridiculous change of pace for them. But yeah, I think Lamar finally hosts the trophy this year. Lamar hosts the Lamar.
Yeah. I think for me, it's I
You
think
heard
it's
it here
Josh
first.
Allen.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first. Lamar hosts the Lamar, right?
Yeah. The
So
Bill, and you heard it here first with me. Bills, they're hosting it. They're hoisting that Lombardi this year. Josh
okay.
Allen's the year.
And of
The year.
course, at the end of the year, I mean, I'm going to be right. You'll be wrong, but you'll say you'll be
Sure.
right and I'll be wrong.
Sure.
But these picks are bulletproof.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are.
Just like my Jets pick a couple years ago. Bulletproof.
And just like my Braves pick this year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We'll go through some end of season awards that we're going to predict for this. And I think we're probably going to agree on maybe a couple of these. But
Probably. Yeah.
first one we've got is Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You and I have the same one on this.
Okay. Emeka
Yeah.
Egbuka. Like he's just
Yeah.
like he's in a perfect situation. I hate to say it with McMillan and Chris Godwin being out and McMillan looked like I don't know if you saw that fall, but it looked bad. Like it was a neck injury. It does not look good for him. I wish him a speedy recovery. Godwin's coming back from that awful, terrible break in his ankle last year. That was just gruesome. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take long. This guy was a special receiver, and I know what 31 other teams were thinking in the draft in April when he was picked by Tampa Bay. Oh, they were pissed because this guy's the supreme talent, and I think he's just going to pop off. He could be the wide receiver one for Tampa by the end of the year. It was a tough choice, man. Like Tet McMillan is set up for a great season as well, and I've been a
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, Genty is going to get just a ton of
Yeah.
carries this year. Like he's going to get.
I think Amari and Hampton's going to be a big factor
man.
on. Yeah,
You could have gone a lot of ways here, right? Like
Yeah.
you definitely could have. But I'm glad we agree on that because he's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see. I mean, we could be looking at double-digit touchdowns this year from him as a rookie. And kind of hoping for that production, like what we hoped Marvin Harrison would be last year. Marvin Harrison Jr., sorry. He could come in and be able to put those numbers in there. But defensive rookie of the year, who did you decide you're going to go with here?
It's a no-brainer for me. Take the smart pick, Abdul Carter.
Okay.
Abdul Carter is going to wreck people this year.
Did you see him get planted on his butt?
Sure did.
Yeah, just like
Sure
Micah
did.
Parsons did when he came, right? Like
Yeah.
people are making a
No,
big deal out
Abdul
of it.
Carter
Yeah, it's
playing on that line, that Giants line, he's going to be a game wrecker.
yeah, he's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I actually went with a little bit of a deeper cut. Still,
I thought about Malachi. I saw
yeah,
your notes, and I thought about it longer than I should have.
yeah. So Malachi Starks, I think, ended in a perfect spot in Baltimore. And I know he wasn't listed as the starter, but listen, this guy's like a very, very talented defensive back. They're gonna he's going to be playing in this lineup. And I just think there's so many good veterans on this defense, and having a guy opposite him and Kyle Hamilton, Kyle Hamilton came into the league and was just a beast, right? Out of Notre Dame, like he
Yeah.
was just awesome when he got into the league. I think this is going to form one of the, if not the best young tandem, if not the best young tandem in the league, like for safety. So I just think it's going to be incredible. Um, yeah, so I can't wait for that. Like the popular choice too, you could have said Travis Hunter, but I just think he's going to play a little bit both ways, and I think that's going to be difficult for voters to dedicate one of them to him because of
Right.
that. I also think because many guys haven't done what he's done, there's a chance that he could get hurt, right? Or break down because guys aren't meant to be able to last that long, like have that many plays every single week. We see supreme athletes doing it right now, and they're getting hurt. I don't wish that on him,
Yeah.
but I think it's a very big uphill battle for him. Uh, all right, moving on. We've got offensive player of the year. I don't think you'll agree with me on this one.
I
Uh,
don't think. I don't. You and I think are going to have vastly different picks on this.
mhm.
You go ahead.
I'm going with CD Lamb, and this is the reason. If
Sure.
Dak Prescott stays healthy, look at the last time he did stay healthy. That season was ridiculous. I think he had 181 targets that year, and I think bringing in some of the guys, right? Like they've got one of the best offensive lines in football there. Dak is finally healthy. They bring in George Pickens, right? I just think that, and they've got Ferguson there too at tight end, which he's no slouch at all. He's a very good tight end. I just think having Pickens opposite him now, this isn't the Brandon Cooks type deal. This was back when like Amari Cooper was there, right? Like that's the type of receiver I see Pickens not being Amari Cooper, but like that level of talent opposite him is really going to help out a ton. Um, and Pickens really knows how to stretch the field. So I think CeeDee Lamb is just going to gobble up targets this year over the middle, man. He's the best slot receiver, I think, in football. I don't think anyone's debating that. I just think he has a ridiculous year. And I played against him so many times in fantasy in different leagues last year and was so annoyed watching games with him just catch. I saw him run, no lie, 80% of his routes last year. So I know how talented he is. I think he's going to pop off this year, and I think this is the year he gets it done.
Yeah. For me, I think it's a crime he didn't win it last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Jamar Chase this year.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
we're going
because
with
this is
Jamar
going to
Chase.
tie into my MVP pick as well, which I
Oh,
think you were gonna. Which I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think that he's going to have another monster year,
are you going to
and I think
surprise me?
yeah, I think him and Burrow are so locked in that
Yeah.
I think he. I'm going to say a thing. I think he's going to flirt with 2,000 yards receiving this year.
Wow. Okay. All
Yep.
right. That's going
Yep.
to be amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And I listen. I love the pick. I really do. I think it's great. I'm a full supporter in Jamar Chase. I love him. Right.
Uh,
I got him back here.
no, I know. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do,
Yeah.
we do. But that's awesome. Who do you have for defensive player of the year?
This is tough because I want to say TJ Watt just because like I think he's gonna have like a big money year, like sign the big contract. I don't think it's him. I'm gonna say a thing. I think Miles Garrett is gonna single-handedly win 2 or 3 games this year by himself.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's gonna be the reason they get any wins whatsoever. And I think it's
Mhm.
gonna be Miles Garrett this year.
Okay. Yeah, I listen. I feel that way about T.J. Watt. I just think like he's been snubbed a few times, I guess you could say. I think there's too much going on with Parsons right now. He could get traded. There could be drama.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, those situations don't end up good. I just think with Garrett, like you could go either way, right? Like
Yeah.
again, hate picking against him because he's such a good player. And I feel like also you bring up a really good point. Them adding Mason Graham to that line, I think makes him better. It's someone else that they have to account for on that line. Uh,
Yeah.
the Browns may not be good on offense, but they're
They are
going.
weirdly going to be good on defense. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to be in games because of that. And in a division where teams really like to run the football,
Yeah.
it's gonna make a difference for them.
Like, you're not starting him in fantasy, but like if you need a defense, like because yours is on a bye week, you could have worse choices. Like, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I don't want to be in that position, by the way, at
no,
all, at
but
all. But if I am,
one of us will be. Like,
could be at some point,
hopefully it's
right?
not hopefully it's not in the guillotine week. That's
Yeah,
really neat.
let's hope not. Okay, so that brings us to the last one, MVP, which I feel like you're gonna tell me what I want to hear right now, and I feel stupid because I went the different direction with it,
I don't
feeling like,
love this for myself, but I think that
oh,
I think Joe Burrow's gonna have a year.
oh
Like
man, even better than
like
last year.
have a year where I think he's gonna flirt with 5,000 yards receiving passing this year.
Well, I think he'll definitely be there. Does T Higgins stay healthy? Is the big question because
So I'm basing these picks that T Higgins has a monster year.
yeah, he will. He will, man.
Like
You saw
like
he
the
missed a
kind of
bunch of games and had what 13 touchdowns last year, 10 touchdowns,
yeah,
something like that.
like the kind of year where like you're kind of gonna draft him as a wide receiver too,
Hmm.
and like he's going to pop off most weeks.
Yeah, he could outproduce
Like he's gonna
your
win
wide
you
receiver
like
one.
he's gonna be the reason you win weeks, I think,
Hmm.
this year.
I so I went a different route
Yeah.
just because I wanted it to coincide with my Super Bowl picks, right? So I ended up picking Lamar Jackson because I feel like this is the year that it finally does come together for them. They get over that hump. And I feel bad because I think it pushes the Bills down further. Uh, which is I
Lamar's a great pick. Like
yeah,
you can't like you if you had told me he was going to win MVP last year, like he definitely could have, and if they had voted him MVP last year, I'd be like, that's fine.
yeah.
Like he put up ridiculous stats last year.
Ridiculous, man. He
That like
the stuff he's done in the league, it's been insane, man.
I almost have kind of like been desensitized to it at this point.
Right. Yeah. It's
Like yeah, like his stats are just insane.
they really are. Like you look at what he's done over like you were even saying like I think when we talked about this, there's a world where he finishes in the top 10 rushing in the NFL by the time his
All
career's
time,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, all time.
Yeah.
Like that's that's wild. That's wild,
Yep.
man. He's awesome, man. And it's not like this is a team that doesn't know how to run the ball and it's just his job, right? Like he's still
Yeah.
throwing for a lot. He's still got a 1,600-yard rusher. Well, actually, I'm sorry. What was it? Almost a 2,000-yard rusher behind him.
Yeah.
And Henry, but like 1,600 yards this year wouldn't be bad for Henry at all. But I just think this is the year they win the Super Bowl, and I think it's the year he wins the MVP.
Real quick, I just want to read Lamar stats from last year that didn't win him MVP.
Yeah.
Just sit with me for a minute. Threw for 4,100 yards,
Mm-hmm.
41 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Okay.
4.
Okay. And if you were just like, cool, that just his passing
So
numbers,
10
like,
to
right,
1,
cool.
10 to 1 touchdown to
Yeah.
picks. Okay.
Yeah. Then he for rushing, he ran the ball 139 times for 915 yards, which if you're wondering on the math of how many yards a carry that is, that's 6.6 yards a carry.
That's wild, man.
And he had 4 touchdowns on the ground as well.
Can
he
you tell
lost
me?
a lot. He lost a lot on the ground because Derrick Henry scored so many touchdowns last
Yeah,
year.
at the goal line and stuff. But
Yeah.
one thing I was going to ask, what was his completion percentage?
66%.
Which isn't awful for Lamar Jackson, right? Like 70 is kind of
Actually,
what you want to get to.
It was down from the year before. The year before he had 67%.
Yeah, it's man, that's wild. Yeah, man. So those are going to be our picks, right? Like that's what we've got. Some fantasy football picks that we're going to make for the season, right? Before we get into that, I want to just mention about this hot tub time machine rule because I think it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's something that I saw on Instagram. I'm not going to implement it in my leagues this year, but something that if you're out there and you're in a fantasy league, pitch this to your league mates and see if this is something they might want to do. Because anyone that says no to this, I feel like they're afraid. What it is, I love the name of it, hot tub time machine rule. And what it is at the end of the season before the playoffs start, right? Regular season ends for fantasy. Every single person in the league goes back and they can make one switch. They write into their commissioner one switch that they want to make in one game that would ideally switch the result of that game, and hopefully they'd end up winning if they're doing it right. But the cool thing about that is if I'm switching a game that Al and I played and I move a player, he may also make a change in that game because it's a blind, you write it in, it's a blind submission that you're sending to the commissioner for that. And we've kind of talked about if I was to implement that, how we would do it. We've considered me not being able to write in a submission for that and kind of foregoing that. But I don't know, that kind of would be unfair in a sense too. But you could always send it to one person or send it to the league mates first, and then they could submit theirs afterwards, right? Which would be kind of an interesting thing. But it really is a ton of strategy because if you move one game, like if I'm moving one game against Al, maybe there's someone else moving a game against him too, and cornering him out of the playoffs. Like you could end up, like if you had like 10 wins or you were like the number one seed, right? And you had 13 wins or something like that, and you only lost one game, you could end up losing every game that you played to your league mates by them making changes. Now, ideally, that's not going to happen. If you go 13-1, that's probably not going to happen. But if they decide like, oh yeah, you're the team they don't want in there in the playoffs, like it's super
Oh no, I
strategy.
talk enough shit in leagues that
Yeah.
like I don't know. I could see it happening to me.
It's really
It's,
cool because you don't know what's going to happen, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. I really like the idea of that. But yeah, some interesting things for you to try. One thing we're implementing this year in one of the leagues that you would suggested is home field advantage in the playoffs. So if you're the
Yeah.
number one seed or the number two seed in the first round of the playoffs, usually they go 3 weeks, right? You've got the intro round, week 1, week 2, week 3, but intro round, then the semifinals, and then the championship. So like in the playoffs, right? Home field advantage. The first week, I think what you get 6 points.
Mhm.
6 points.
No, uh yeah, no, 6. Yeah.
Is that what it is? 6 points, and then from there, it changes. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is what it is. It's going to be 3 points for the better record in the playoffs, 6 points for a head start in the semifinals. So if you're that team that goes through, I think that's what we decided on. Was how it was going to go. Playoff week 1, 3 points for the higher seed. Playoff week 2, 6 points for the higher seed. And then in the championship, no points advantage because Super Bowl's played on a neutral site. So we're going to test it out this year, see how it goes. But that's the kind of the fun part about fantasy football, guys. You gotta have fun with it. You gotta mix some things up. There's some that we've seen, right, where a kicker misses an extra point and they get -50, which is
Love it.
that completely can swing a game. And like talk about watching your league mates rage. Like these are fun things that happen. Like you could end up winning a game because of that, and it would just, oh man, the
I would like to one year be in a league where we implement all of those rules at once.
yeah,
It's just pure chaos.
yeah, we'll call it
That's where
mayhem.
I really kind of get off on fantasy sports
Hmm.
is when it's just pure chaos.
Pure
That's
mayhem.
where I thrive. That's where I
Absolutely.
really thrive. Yeah.
So before we wrap up here, let's go through. We're just gonna go by position and stuff and guys that you're kind of feeling good about. For quarterbacks, who are you feeling good about in fantasy this year?
I think Burrow is going to go pretty high off the board. I think if you want something with a little more value, because I think their quarterbacks are real. There's a lot of good quarterbacks this
Hmm.
year. I think you wouldn't do bad if you had somebody like a Justin Herbert who puts up a lot of good regular season stats,
Hmm.
doesn't do well in the playoffs, but like again, doesn't really matter. Guys like that, I think you're going to get some real value in this year.
Yeah, honestly, like if it depends like how your drafts are, right? And how your league mates are. But if I get into a position where I'm not able to snag one of those top flight quarterbacks and not overreaching for them, but getting one of them to
Yeah.
fall to me, I'm really I'm gonna punt the position. There's just too much value later and too many good receivers and running backs and possibly tight ends earlier that I could take advantage of, rather than waiting on the back end for that.
Yeah.
What about running back position? How you feeling on that?
I really think I really think Omari and Hampton's gonna have a big year because
Ooh.
like the Najee Harris thing, they still keep getting kind of squirrely about with that injury, and
They say
I
he's
just think he's
supposed to
gonna
be
play.
ready for week one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Does
I
Rashawn Slater, does that impact your pick at all?
No, because they moved Joel over, so like to me that's almost just as good.
Hmm.
Like you miss Slater's leadership, sure, but like I don't
Well,
know.
someone's got to take Alt's position on the other side, and that's kind
I
of my
agree.
concern. But I think Omari and Hampton. I mean, the guy was an absolute animal in college.
He was a
If
monster
Yeah,
in college.
if
Oh
Genty
my
wasn't
god.
if Genty wasn't drafted 6 overall, we'd be talking about Hampton more,
Yeah.
right? But that's kind of the case there. I really like that pick though. I think he's gonna have a great season as a rookie. My pick this year, I picked Chase Brown, and I just think he made a big jump last year. If you look at the stats over the second half of the season, I mean, this guy was just a workhorse back for the one of the premier offenses in the league, and I just think him being the lone back there, they didn't bring in much help behind him. They really believe they're going to run him hard this year. And he's not only great at running the ball, he's got a nose for the end zone and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I just think it's going to be great for them this year. A second year with that rapport with Joe Burrow and then a healthy T Higgins. I mean, this offense is going to be exciting to watch this year. Um,
also think I also think too Jordan Mason's going to be another one where I really think two things. Aaron Jones always seems to get kind of nicked up,
mhm.
and I think too like Jordan Mason's a young dude. Like I think Jordan Mason's going to have a weirdly big year for the Vikings this year.
You know what's interesting? I agree with you on that with Jordan Mason, but Aaron Jones has always kind of bothered me because even when he was back with the Packers, he'd have these games where he'd have like 26 yards rushing on like 13 carries. And then
Yeah,
he'd have like 3 weeks in a row of that, not quite that low, but like in the 40s or 50s and not really do anything. Maybe he gets one touchdown. And then he'd have one game where he'd score 5 touchdowns.
yeah,
And then you look at the stats at the end of the year, and I always see people overdrafting him, thinking like, "Oh yeah, well he scored like 12 touchdowns last year." It's like, yeah, but almost half of those came in one game, right? So
yeah.
like for me, like I just was never a huge fan of him. I think he's an awesome player, but in terms of fantasy, just not a guy that I was ever really interested in, because of that. What about wide receiver? How are you feeling on that?
I think I'm going to learn to pronounce his name eventually. The rookie from Tampa Bay, Abuke, I think is his last name.
Yeah,
Um,
Ebuka. Yeah,
I think he's going to have a monster season
yeah, he
in that
is.
offense. I
Hmm.
really like I don't think he's going to be like a wide receiver one, but like if you have him in a format where you could put him in a flex position, and I think you wouldn't be doing that bad.
I'll tell
Like
you, him as your wide receiver too wouldn't be a bad option.
not all, yeah, it's not awful either. Like
What we talk about in fantasy really it matters about opportunity, right? And this is a guy that unfortunately because of injuries has been elevated into the starting lineup and is going to have a lot of opportunity. So I really think he's going to have a ton of success with that. Him and Baker, like Baker's going to love throwing to this guy. He really is.
yeah.
And once Wirfs comes back, like oh man, like it's things are just going to get better.
I
Um,
also think too one more. I think especially because Ayuk is still out early on.
mhm.
I think this might be a you might see a lot of early Ricky Pearsall 100-yard games. I
Okay.
really do.
Yeah.
Like I because somebody needs to get the ball in that situation, and I think it's going to be him.
Yeah, Jennings is
Like
banged up right now too. I know he was asking for a new contract, but he's kind of injured right
yeah,
now. I don't think it's anything too serious, but I like that pick too. I went a different direction because I feel like I'm all about opportunity, and we talked about C.D. Lamb before. I'm going the opposite. I'm picking George Pickens,
yeah,
like I know, like just hear me out. Like he finally gets a competent quarterback, right? And with Dak, and he's playing along my pick for offensive player of the year in CeeDee Lamb. Like honestly, like this is a contract year for him, so he's incentivized to even play better and really put his best film out there. He's a very, very good
Yeah.
route runner. And when it comes to making ridiculous catches, this guy's very good. But I'd be shocked if he finished the season short of 10 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. I really would. I think he's going to be that good. All right, moving on. The last one that we've got here, tight end.
You are gonna love me today. I watch a lot of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do. I probably on most Saturdays, I'm probably watching like 6 to 8 hours of college football
Mm-hmm.
on a Saturday. I really enjoy it. I don't have a favorite team, which makes it fun. Dude, the tight end you guys drafted, the
Tyler
Colts
Warren.
drafted,
Yeah.
oh my God, it was a
Yeah.
monster in college. A monster. And I'm not saying he's going to have a Brock Bowers season,
Yeah.
but I think you're going to quietly look and be like, yo, this guy has like 80 catches and like 1,100 yards. All right.
Yeah, and he's going to be instrumental in that offense too. Like Michael Pittman's getting older. They don't have like a very, very elite receiver there that I see. And this is,
Yeah.
I think they're going to run the offense through him. Like you saw it in the preseason. What did he play? Like
Yep.
15 snaps. They targeted him on 6 of them, or 12 snaps. He was targeted on
Yeah.
half. Like it's crazy. He's going to have a great season, man. And another one I want to tag on with that, Colston Loveland in Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
I know
He has the shoulder thing that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, but
That I would have, yeah, but he also monster in college.
he's also
Like,
very good at dancing in front of his team and singing. I don't
yeah,
know if you saw that. That clip was
I did.
amazing.
I did. I loved it.
My pick though actually is going to be Tucker Kraft, and I think listen,
Okay.
it depends on what we see from Jordan Love and if he's healthy. But this dude's scary good, and he doesn't come off the field, man. Like he blocks, he catches the ball. He's lapped Luke Musgrave in terms of talent, and because
Oh,
remember
yeah.
they drafted Kraft and Musgrave in the same year. Musgrave's no slouch, but Kraft is very, very good, and I just think he's going to get big opportunities this year. Like that's a team that really by next year, I think the only receivers that are going to be there are going to be Golden, Jaden Reed, and then Tucker Kraft. The rest of them, I think
So
they're going to
too.
move on from, and they
Yeah.
need to. They need to, right? Like they brought in a ton of competition. Tucker Kraft was one of those guys that they brought in the last couple of years, but bringing in Golden, he's going to be. I don't know if you've seen the clips of him in camp, but they're saying that defensive backs for Green Bay can't even cover this guy. He's that good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I've
you're,
read he's had a really good camp. Yeah.
you're seeing him in terms of separation, like 7-8 yards separated from the defensive backs. I mean, it's wild.
That's wild.
So and I apparently Jordan Love loves this guy. No pun intended. So
Yeah. I'm here for it.
we will see. But guys, those are our surefire picks for fantasy this year. Again, you kind of have to know your league and how people draft. Is it running back heavy? Do people like to wait on that? Do people reach for
Yeah.
Also pay attention to what your league mates are doing, right? Like if you know your boys are Cowboy fans, you know that they're going to load up on some of those guys, right? Like I loved it when people were loading up on Patriots and they were garbage, right? Like I was just like, keep doing it, guys. Keep doing it. Right?
I'm in fantasy. I never draft players for my favorite team.
Oh, that's tough.
That's my rule of thumb.
That's a
It's my
tough
rule of
thing.
thumb, and
Yeah,
it makes it so I can enjoy watching my favorite team on Sundays and not and I can keep that separate from fantasy.
I liked it before when my team didn't have any good players, and then I could actually follow that rule. But I don't know now. Like Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, they're worth a pick, right? Like they're
Yeah.
good players.
Yeah, I'm gonna draft Tyler Warren in one of my leagues this year, and then I'm just gonna berate you every Monday when I'm like, the fuck, this guy had 3 catches for 22 yards.
Or
Why
you're
did I even think
or you're gonna be coming in and being like, oh man, did you see this weekend? He had 12 catches, 190 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like,
honestly, that's probably gonna happen because I don't wear this crown just for fun.
yeah,
I wear this crown because I'm a winner
okay,
and I'm a defending champion.
yeah.
A defending
And
champion.
just in case anyone that's watching does not know, you are the champion until when?
Until somebody beats me.
Yeah,
Until somebody else wins the championship.
yeah. Or you don't make the playoffs, right?
How dare you?
Because then it's just
How
vacated during
dare
that
you.
time. Like that's the worst feeling. That's what happened to me last year. I was a champ all
I know.
off season and then didn't make the playoffs, and it's been 3 weeks without the crown. Like, it was awful. No one
I've been
sitting on the
talking a lot
throne.
of I've been talking a lot of shit. That bill's coming due in Bennett League. I know it
Yeah,
is.
it is. It is.
I
There's
know
some.
it is. It started with my Venmo payment to the league to the commissioner. Like I'm already talking more shit than like my mouth. Yeah, I'm writing checks my mouth can't cash.
Yeah. Well,
I know
listen,
it.
we got to be
I
able to
know
do
it.
it that way.
Yeah.
I think we are just about done. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about fantasy before we go? Any tips you want to give the fans before we go?
Yeah, I think honestly, kids, if there are any kids out there, I apologize for the language, but also if you're looking for a role model and you want to be a champion like me and a king, just listen to what I do. Follow
Okay.
follow what I say, you know?
All right. And if
Yep.
you're looking for a separate role model of someone that dethrones the king, look my way. Um,
Oh, don't look Willie's way. No,
look my
no,
way.
he's not. No, no.
Look my
I
way.
big
Huh?
things. I think what's gonna happen. Big predictions. We're in a guillotine league together. I smell. I smell a week 1 elimination for you, Willie. I really do this
All
year. I
right.
really
Well,
do.
listen, we know from last year that doesn't happen because we're too smart for that. But we
Aren't
were
we?
talking before
Aren't we?
about
I've looked at that guillotine league of who's in it this year.
it's
There's a lot of
upgraded.
sharks in this.
Yeah, it's
It's
upgraded now. Yeah, there's people
yeah.
coming for blood. So,
My
um,
my my beehole's clenched every week now in that league.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
not great.
oh man, it's so I just don't even want to think about being eliminated first. I can deal with second week elimination. I can't deal with first. It's
I'm gonna say think if you get eliminated first and I don't win either league this year, I will consider this season a success. I will consider it a success.
wow.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh man.
All right. Well, we will be
You know
back.
what?
We're gonna spend the next week thinking about punishments for
Yeah.
this in case that doesn't
Yeah.
happen. But other than that, I think we're good to go. Right?
All right, man.
All
Hey,
right.
I love you.
I love you too. Peace, bro.
Peace.